Hi, I'm Ellen Yale, and I just wanted to sign on since I haven't in the last couple of weeks. A lot of stuff's been happening, a lot of it having to do with money. Um, I could talk for all day about all the money things that have been going on, but I thought I'd pick out the most interesting, which is I am set to inherit a bunch of money. And um, what happened is my Aunt Audrey passed away a week ago Friday. And she was not only my favorite aunt, but she was my only aunt. And my sister and I have no uncles, no cousins, no other aunts. So everything was just Aunt Audrey all rolled up into one. And so sad to see her go, but she's had an illness now. She's had Alzheimer's as well as strokes and a lot of other things for the last 6 years. So it's been building up to this, and it was a very peaceful passing. So, as I say, nothing unexpected. Um, I did actually. On a side note, my sister and I were a little surprised because she died on January 3rd. We thought she was going to die on January 6th, only because both her brother, my dad, died on January 6th, and our grandfather, her dad died on January 6th. So we thought, just in the back of our mind, wouldn't it be crazy? This could happen. So so it was close, but it came on the 3rd. We got the call the night before. Both of us. My sister was in Florida. She drove up. I'm in North Carolina. Drove up, and anyway, just missed seeing her pass, but we're there for everything else. And my sister is both the executor, and she has been taking care of my aunt's finances for a while. So she knows the status of everything. She's been paying the bills and making sure the life insurance or the long-term insurance care was being taken care of. And so we share duties. She just happens to be the money person. So when she told me how much Aunt Audrey's estate was worth, it was significantly more than I had expected. So I'm assuming that she and I are the heirs. There'd been a discussion 10 years ago when she had her will about the whole thing. So unless something really wacky happens, my sister and I are the ones who inherit her estate. So this being more than I had expected, I'm sure from my sister's great investing, um, it was like winning the lottery. It felt like what I imagine people feel like winning the lottery. And I don't tend to play the lottery or gamble. So I've never gone through the exercise of thinking, well, what would it feel like to win the lottery, to fall into some unexpected money? As I said, I was expecting some. I wasn't expecting this to be what it was. So it was amazing just to think about, you know, what worries I could let go of, how I could help people, how I could help people in my family. Um, it was really different, I think, than just if I'd done the exercise by itself. Actually, it would have been really interesting if I'd first done the exercise at some point of if you won the lottery, what would you do with the money? And um, and then when it really was real, seeing, well, what you really spend your money on, where would you really put your money? And so that was really sort of fun until my sister, we got back home, took care of everything up there for now, and got back home and found out that Maryland is one of 2 states in the United States that has a fairly substantial tax from the state if you're not a spouse or a child or a parent of the person. So suddenly all that extra money, poof, just went away. And I felt sad about it. Like, oh, what? They're taking away my winnings, my lottery winnings. Now, mind you, I'm still inheriting money. It's not that, it's just that was sort of expected and sort of built into my expectations of, you know, being comfortable in our retirement, just something to add on there. But it was that sadness that I thought was really fascinating, because nothing had changed. I still haven't received any money. I didn't have to write a check for anyone to give up any money. Um, I just felt sad that someone suddenly, this gift I'd gotten had somehow gone away. Now, mind you, my aunt was a school teacher her whole life. We're glad that the state of Maryland has tax money coming from her estate. You know, we're thankful. We're not mad about taxes in any way. It's just that it felt like, to me, I had the money and then suddenly I didn't have the money. So what this is a perfect example of is that since I didn't ever have the money and I didn't, it's just all in my mind, that it was not actually the money that makes me happy or sad. It was what I thought about the money that made me first happy and then sad that it was gone, or the expectation of it was gone. So by being aware of my thinking, that it wasn't the money itself, it was just my thinking, that I can decide to think whatever I want. Even though it seems like these thoughts just come into your head, I had not planned that thinking, I certainly can plan the thinking. So if I ever do feel again sad that that money, that total is different than what I thought it would be, I can choose to think something different. And it's a lot easier if you plan in advance. Also, it needs to be something that I really truly feel. Like I could think the thought, well, I never had that money anyway. And it would be true, and I truly believe that that thought's true, but it doesn't make me feel any better. So what I've decided to think is that making money, to me, feels so much better than inheriting money, because when I'm making money, I'm putting something of value out in the world. My work, I just love what I do. I love being able to help people feel abundant, feel rich, get rich in all ways, money in all ways. And so I would much rather get money in that way, because something is better in the universe because of it. Something's better in the world. And that ripples out and has such a great feeling for everyone, that I just tend to think whenever it pops up a little bit like, oh yeah, that Maryland state tax, it's like, but really, I want to be making the money for my future. I'm not going to turn down the inheritance. Yes, it's nice, it's fun, but under that layer of fun and niceness, I really want to be earning it. I want to be exchanging value. So that thinking that I had this extra bunch of money was really thrilling for a while. It was really cool, but I can drop the disappointment. I can choose to think what I want to think. And who knows, something may happen. I may never get any of the money. And then I'll decide what to think at that point. All right. So that was probably the most exciting part of the money, the money story in this past week or two. And I hope it's helped.